Number 12, David Shearer.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister of Foreign Affairs, did his office receive an email at approximately 5 o'clock New Zealand time on 22nd of May 2014 advising that the Malaysian government had refused to waive diplomatic immunity in the Mohammed Rizalman case, and if so, when was that email opened?
And before I call the Minister, my office has been advised this answer may be longer than normal. The Honourable Dr Jonathan Coleman.
On behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, as he has already said publicly, one staff member from his office was copied into an internal MFAT email on the 22nd of May. The email reported that the diplomat had returned to Malaysia in light of a decision by Malaysian authorities to decline a request for a waiver of immunity. The staff member did not open the email when it was received, as she was travelling at the time with limited communications capacity and was not the usual contact point for such reports. The email was identified in June when correspondence was reviewed in the office. The inquiry initiated by the Minister reflects the fact that the management of this case and associated events have had a serious impact on a young woman and have quite rightly undermined public confidence in the management of diplomatic immunity. The Minister expects the correspondence between MFAT and his office to form part of that inquiry. He doesn't plan to comment further until that process is completed.
Speaker.
Supplementary question, David Shearer.
Given that the Minister was travelling and was arriving in New York at the time, was that communication that difficult in New York to prevent the opening of that email and having it read?
Honourable Dr Jonathan Coleman.
On behalf of the Minister, I think that question has already been addressed in the opening answer. Basically, they had limited communications capacity.
Supplementary question. Order. Supplementary question. David Shearer.
So, if the Minister is saying that the email was received and not opened, when was it finally opened in June?
Honourable Dr Jonathan
On behalf
Coleman.
of the Minister, I don't have that exact information. What I've said is the email was identified in the office in June.
Point of order. David Shearer.
Mr Speaker, this question was on notice, and it defies belief that this wasn't gone into before he came to the House.
And the member's raising a reasonable point. It was a question on notice. We've identified that it was June. I would have been hopeful that the date in June could also have been identified for the benefit of the House. The Minister's responsible for the argument. It's for the member to judge that answer. Supplementary question, David Shearer.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Given that revelation today, sir, why does the terms of reference into the investigation into what happened in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs not extend to what was going on and the activities in the Minister's office and the actions of the Minister himself in light of that investigation?
Honourable Dr Jonathan Coleman.
On behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, it is up to Mr John Whitehead to consider how he undertakes this inquiry. The Minister expects the correspondence between MFAT and his office to form part of that review, and he expects to be interviewed as well as relevant members of staff.
Speaker.
Supplementary question, David Shearer.
Given his answer to question 6 on the 2nd of July that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs failed to inform its minister and its ministers, will he now admit that the failure was actually himself and his own office?
On behalf of the Minister of Foreign
Dr
Affairs,
Jonathan Coleman.
The point is there is an inquiry into all these matters, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs doesn't intend to comment further until that is concluded.
Order. That concludes questions for oral answer. I have received a letter from Chris Hipkins seeking to debate under Standing Order 386.